Hi, everyone. I'm Lisa D'Amico. I'm the curator at the art gallery at the Rockefeller State Park Preserve. And I have the pleasure today of speaking to photographer Andrew Ward, whose work is currently in the exhibit. And your work is exceptional. You have,
Oh, thank you.
you really have an eye for nature. Have you always photographed nature or did it evolve over time?
Since I started taking photographs at a young age, I always focused on you know, nature. I did go through different, like most artists go through different phases. But I find it, you know, very fulfilling to try and capture the essence of what it is I'm looking at. I want to be able to project that what I see to other people just to see if they get it. There's nothing better, no matter what kind of medium you work with, to stand back and watch people, look at something you've created and try and gauge by their facial expressions if they're if it's close to what you were experiencing when you took that image, or painted that painting, or molded that clay, or worked with that wood. You know what I mean?
I do. I do. And I have to tell you that you have four pieces in the exhibit. I think the one I gravitated towards the most in the beginning was you called it June, and it's that incredible
Yeah.
green beetle. It is so up close and personal with this incredible creature. Were you that close? I mean, did that beetle pose for you?
Um, so it's going to come as a shock to it, I guess, a lot of people when they see this. I really don't use a digital camera. I just mainly use my phone. And I know it's like purists are going to probably, not understand why, but it's just easier because there are those moments that happen, like for instance, that bug or some of the other, pieces that I have there that I would not never have had time to take a camera out, set it up, turn it on to be able to capture that image. And that particular beetle is one of my favorites. It's actually a June bug. That's why I call it June. And it to me, when I look at it, it's almost like it's got, fake eyelashes, like mascara, like she's famous. That's what I get when I look at it, you know?
There's another piece in the exhibit. It's this incredible magenta flower, and there's a small bee in the center of that flower.
Yeah.
I mean, did you wait for this to happen? I mean, it's really striking.
So as you can see in the image behind me, I love the beach. And I just got back and I spent, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes photographing um, bumblebees. There's something about them. I don't know. And I recorded videos of them flying, and I slow them down. I do other treatments to them. I don't know. It's just one of those things. Something about insects, man. It's just for me. It's just they're captivating. I can sit there with a chair and just watch them. And people, of course, shy away because some people don't like bugs. My wife doesn't like bugs, but they think they're going to get stung. And I know a few people who work with honeybees, and it's just they're as fascinating too. And some people just can't stand even looking at like a honeycomb. Bothers people, but bumblebees are just my thing. And so for a lot of time, you do have to when you're dealing with anything in nature as a photographer, you do have to take a time, whether the lighting has to be perfect, or the subject, has to get to a certain angle. It's tough, but it's also rewarding.
Oh, absolutely. There is also a photograph that you did that right now I have gotten quite a few very positive comments about. It is the snail that
Yeah.
I mean, that's exquisite. That must have been easier since they're not moving that fast.
Yeah. Well, so snails have those little antenna, and you want to capture them in their, full awareness, and as I get older, my body is definitely reminding me that I'm not, 20 or 30 or 40 anymore. And I've had, you know, some recent, um, parts replaced. Getting to that level, getting down on all fours to lay down on your stomach to photograph something as cool as a snail. I just think they're cool. And again, the lighting and everything else, it's and to actually stumble upon it, right? So, I mean, even just today, I was walking. I have three dogs. I was walking my dogs, and I was like, "Oh, I got to take a picture of that." And it's like, "Sorry, dogs," and trying to wrangle three dogs and take out, your phone to access the camera to take a picture that I might never use is tough. But that's the beauty part about having this device in your pocket that can just be, a lifesaver in some cases. But yeah, snails are another, that fascinate me, man. Lizards, snails, bees, any kind of bug, man. I just think it's trippy. They're cool.
I find the way you capture nature through the lens of your camera very cool. And Andrew, thank you so much for speaking with me today. This has been wonderful.
Oh, thanks, Lisa, man. It's always cool talking to you.